Hello, my name is Bob Davis. I'm Professor of Religious and Cultural Education at the University of Glasgow, and I am the editor of the Journal of Philosophy of Education, a post I've held since 2011. Well, out of the many conversations that took place around the dual celebrations of the 50th anniversary of the Philosophy of Education Society of Great Britain, and the 50th volume of the Journal of Philosophy of Education, this notion of a possible virtual issue, which the journal had used before in other contexts, seemed to have a general appeal to the membership. And when I thought about it as editor, I was particularly struck by two things. First of all, the way in which such an exercise could be deeply traditional, and at the same time how it could also almost immediately be seen as innovative and forward thinking. Well, I think it's immediately traditional in the sense that Patricia White, my co-editor, and I are delving deep into a 50-year archive or a repository of ideas, essays, questions, deliberations, debates that cover the most enduring themes in philosophy of education, right back to its roots in this country, and many of which are, of course, still relevant today and are still regularly drawn upon by those who are studying these questions and addressing these concerns today. Well, in 2016, I think every educator is aware of the dramatic impact of the new technologies upon these vast repositories of journal archive material that we have. The very concept of a virtual or online issue is an entirely new way of approaching this material. It allows us to access a tremendous repertoire of tools and methods that are unique to the virtual online environment. The capacity to use these new publishers' instruments for organising personalised bookshelves, libraries of articles, annotated PDFs of material that's been lying in archives for a considerable length of time. Placing it in that virtual space opens it up to new ways of reading, new communities of readers, and new forms of interaction with the text, which are at the absolute frontiers of academic study today. Well, we both imagine this being used in all kinds of ways, some of which we've seen already in other virtual issues. But I think it's also a hallmark of these technologies that readers keep surprising us in the way in which they use the material. Clearly, there's a very practical dimension to this. We are furnishing the readership with an archive of material that they can then navigate in their own ways, and which will allow them to network the articles that we've curated and that we are presenting to other related publications in the journal, to lines of thought and inquiry and questioning that have been pursued across many volumes and over several decades. At the same time, the technology also affords these new opportunities for collaborative reading, for online debate and dialogue, and for the use of the new technologies themselves to create new styles of reading, new styles of interaction for those who are taking forward research projects of their own, completing academic assignments, writing dissertations, or who simply want to take part in what's now a global conversation around philosophy of education. Well, I think the virtual issue is a showcase of these new developments. If you think even of what we're doing here, video technology has become an enormously important asset to the way in which academic material is contextualised, discussed, and interrogated by readers. This is just another expression of that whole online domain where the reader has almost as much power as the writer. And you see this in the use of blogging commentaries, the creation of virtual and online seminars, interviews with authors and philosophers, and the capacity that the technology offers to create these networks of ideas and networks of participants in the discussion of these ideas on a national and an international platform.